ready? I'm gonna give you a countdown.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, action.
Action. What's up? Clear my throat of
Afternoon. Evening.
Not evening.
Yeah, it could be evening. We're not going to disclose what, the bright light that does a crappy job lighting us. You don't know what time of day we're really in. What's up? This is the 4th time.
We made it to number 4.
We're doing well.
You know what they say? 3's a crowd, 4's a number.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think you were going anywhere with it. I'm glad to know I was right.
So yeah, been a long month. You might be screaming at your computer saying, "You little stinkers." This is your fault. We made a promise that said by the end of April we would have a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild review.
Your words.
And guess who the last passenger on the train was?
Okay. Here's the thing. You put the expectation
I
up
did.
that we'd have it by
I thought
April.
we would, but this guy was having so much fun. He's like, I don't want to.
To clarify, I beat this game in 2 weeks. I don't know why these guys took so long.
Yeah.
It's whatever, man.
But the review for Zelda is coming. It is imminent, right?
Yes.
We're all ready to
You know what?
review
So
it.
definitely May. If it's not May, go to that unsubscribe button and click it.
Oh, it'll be before. Yeah, oh, wait, yeah, it's May.
May.
It'll be in May. It'll definitely be here.
It'll be by the end of May, or you can unsubscribe from us. We'll promote that. So, with the bad news out of the way, but that's coming. But we'll get to the good stuff, and that was a game
The good stuff
that no
of
one
April?
played here.
So we're gonna cover the good stuff of April.
It's all good stuff.
Okay.
So nothing but good stuff.
I'm going to spin everything now. I'm going to make it. This is the good podcast. That's the title of it.
The good
I ain't gonna lie, though,
the good one.
I didn't think anything happened this month.
Oh, there's some good.
There was
there's one thing I had happen, but that's personally. Anyways.
Yeah, this is
let's
games.
Just hit it.
Let's just get this personal stuff out.
Yes.
Persona 5.
Okay.
The game
First controversy.
that everyone.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that second, but it's the game itself first. So.
Oh.
I had there was people at my work that were pretty crazy about Persona. I never played one, but I played one game that I think I'm judging the entire series on that I probably shouldn't. That's Final Fantasy Type 0. Because that game has you doing action RPG stuff, and then you go back to the school and you talk to people and there's a day. And I played 2 seconds of that and hated it. But as I'm saying that, I know that's a bad judge for Persona.
Yeah.
But I know that's involved in Persona that you go through the school days. This feels like that Conan segment, the uninformed gamer or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like that's us talking about Persona because none of us have played it.
No,
I want to play it though.
I watched a retrospective on the series, so the first 4 games, and I thought it was very interesting. Got me very excited to play 5.
Yeah.
But
5
I
looks
actually
awesome.
think that school simulation stuff sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
I think something like that is a premise that it's all in the execution.
That's why I think Type 0.
Yeah, it sounds like Type 0
different
just, if it's boring and it feels like school. But I'll watch an anime where all the kids are in school and it's fun. Like Evangelion, they're in school, but it's fun and it adds an element to it. So it's kind of all in the execution.
In my opinion, since it's an action RPG.
It's 100 hours also. So you have to set a month of your life.
Yeah.
Gets shaved off and it's just
the
Persona.
idea of
That's really all
spending
you're
100
doing.
hours on another game.
That's a month basically.
Just doesn't attract me at all.
If it's I just spent 100 hours with Zelda. Spoilers, I would say that was worth it.
Yeah.
So I mean, from what I've heard of Persona, I feel like it would be worth the investment.
I just feel
you
like
better like it, I guess.
Those games have a weird way of pacing, and that's a big deal to me. How's the game pacing?
So to clarify, it came out in April. None of us have played it yet. You're wanting to, but you're waiting. Correct?
Yeah, I have to wait till have a clear plate.
Okay.
I gotta get the room
I want to
ready.
play it also. I'm also waiting because I'm, just wrapped up Zelda. I want to play some shorter games.
Yeah.
To kind of relax.
Yeah, I'm not playing a long game.
And I've got to play through The Witcher 3 that I want to finish. So that's a whole.
So we're talking about Persona
and
now.
You have no interest in.
I'm still playing Mass Effect.
I'm
just
dang
kidding.
it.
We'll talk about
I'm just
that
kidding.
later.
Yeah. It's okay.
So Persona's out, but none of us have played it. If you've played it, we'd love to kind of hear your comments. Maybe it's something we should make time for. Now, tell us how you feel about going to school.
The pants might come off for Persona.
I don't know.
The pants really might come off.
Yeah. Really.
If you intrigue me enough, convince me to take my pants off.
That's enough good stuff for Persona. You know what? No, we're spinning this as good. I forgot. Okay, only good. Persona restricted Persona 5 streams.
Wait, what?
Oh,
they restricted streams to a certain date in the game. And here's the thing. I really like surprises. I love that. Breath of the Wild was that entire game with surprises and discovery. So I get where Atlus is coming from in this. What they did, I guess, just give more backstory.
Yeah, give a little bit more backstory.
They basically said they came out and said you can only stream online to a certain point in the game.
Yeah,
and they gave a date because, like, I guess as you play, you go through the calendar. Like basically, so they said up till I don't know when it was, July, blah blah. That you can stream up to that day, that date,
stream it
that
online
month and day.
For others to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
but
anything past that,
it's not just stream. You can't even record on your own.
Yeah, on the PS4 you can't do anything. But they're saying
can't
like
even capture gameplay.
But they're saying like if you get a freaking Elgato or you know what I mean, like something like that, like I have, you can do that, but only up till July. So people understandably were like, that's weird because I'm able to stream the game from beginning to end. So this is where it's like the part of me that likes surprise and discovery. It's like, yeah, but I don't think you can stop people. Like, why are you trying to stop people? Like, Pandora's box is already open. You can stream all this stuff. Like, to restrict it is only it becomes a Streisand effect, and people are like, okay, now. So what happened? Here's the Streisand effect. Was Twitter bots, when you would mention Persona 5, like hashtag Persona 5, it would go that tweet and spoil the game for you. So people created these auto bots that were like, if you mentioned Persona 5, something came in and you would see a reply somebody created these Twitter bots that thank you Atlus, you killed the game for some people.
There's a few things going on here. Number one, the game's a PS4 exclusive, correct?
Yes.
It's only out on PS4
and PS3,
but it didn't release on PC.
No.
So here's the thing: Sony made a console. And a big feature of this console is its ability to let you capture a screenshot.
Yeah, it has a share button on it.
But not just that. You can capture screenshots, you can capture gameplay, and you can share, right?
Yeah.
So you would think that Sony, that being a major thing they poured their money and time into, would make it part of the terms for if you want to make a game for us on our console, you have to allow people to stream and record their gameplay. So,
but that's up to the developer. It's up to the developers to say
does Sony leave it completely up to them?
Sony leaves it up to them.
It's up to them.
Because usually what you'll see...
But I'm just saying, it's in Sony's best interest. They should really maybe change that policy a little bit. I don't know.
I think maybe it was kind of like a trade-off. Like, hey, we'll do that. They probably worked with the developers like, we'll do that, but please give us a way out.
I think it's...
Because some developers use it as, they'll let you stream the whole game except, the final cutscene or, something with it. We'll get to it anyway.
Bottom line, I think it's stupid. I think it's not up with the times.
I think it's a Japanese developer, too. It's a different perspective on things.
It's true, but that's not true because there are plenty of Japanese developers that let you stream and record. They're the outlier, not the rule in this. Mm-hmm. So it's not. I don't think it's right to say it's a Japanese developer thing. No, it's just not a up with the times thing.
Yeah, but then there's an update. They came back a couple days ago. And they said, we heard your cries. There's a lot of people had an issue with this. We're gonna let you stream till November on the game thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And they said that's when the game really picks up to the final ending. And I was just like, no, you don't get it. You're not getting what's going on. So they're not understanding. And then also the same month, that Puyo Puyo Tetris also restricted streaming on that game. So I think this month was don't let people see your
That's
game.
even more odd to me. Okay,
it's puzzles. But I think there might be story.
That's the thing. There is a story mode.
Okay. But
and a lot of people like the story mode. A lot of people really enjoy the adventure or story mode. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
That's just that is really problematic to me. I mean, what do you guys think? Just the fact of the matter, I think if you own a piece of software, the console that you own it for supports this. I think that developers, that we should give them feedback on this. I mean, I know that people are, but I I have yet to really hear
I think
legitimate reason why.
Well, there's a large community. There's a large community that adamantly believe that you shouldn't be sharing something that someone can make money off of. It's like kind of comes down to the whole idea.
But this isn't about that.
No,
because you can share parts of the game.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But there's some games that are completely like, hey, you can't share this at all.
Well, Nintendo does it. Nintendo's the most restrictive, and Nintendo makes you partner with them for any
I don't think that the Atlus thing has anything to do with it. Their main thing is they don't want the game spoiled for people.
Yeah.
Let people decide what they search and what they want.
But in doing this, people created those Twitter bots, and it's spoiled the game for people because people were pissed to have the restriction. To have that restriction was like...
I understand what you're talking about, but that's almost a different issue. If
guess.
that's Atlus's goal in this, then they're really weird. I
find the biggest issue with people like...
No, they're not worried about not making money on the game.
They didn't want to spoil.
They don't want people to get... They don't want people to be able to stream late parts of the game because they don't want you, the consumer, to be spoiled on the end.
That was their goal.
But if you care about a story that you're not going to watch the whole stream. Or look up videos of the ending.
Yeah. That's like saying, like, hey, I just picked up Breath of the Wild. I'm going to watch the final
ending. It's this weird, mentality of trying to protect people that... I don't understand it. It doesn't
protect.
It's like it's kind of like they were wanting to shove the internet back in the box, in Pandora's box. It's like it's not going to happen. People are going to stream the frick out of this, and now definitely they're going to.
It's
to say you can't. Like I don't know.
It's kind of like there's a current, and then just randomly saying, "I'm going to go up current." I'm going to go upstream.
It's not going to happen.
No reason. My boat's great. Yeah. Everything's going great down this river. Let's just go upstream to try it. And I don't understand.
In the end, like you said, if you have an Elgato, I mean...
Yeah, anybody could do it. And, I had to basically stay off, looking at a lot of stuff and a lot of sites I used to go to now when Breath of the Wild came out. Because it's that's the only answer. The answer isn't well, if I, not look at stuff, if you're going to get spoiled. You know what I mean? You're going to step into a spoiler within seconds. So it's Atlus's kind of attempt at this is throwing your kid into a highway and be like, stop! My kids, they're you know what I mean? You're not going to protect them. They will get hit.
The expectations
it's not going to happen. So that's kind of weird, but we'll see. But
also, I don't know that it's necessarily worth outrage.
Yeah,
but it's definitely weird. And I'm glad that people are talking about it.
And people jumped on the bandwagon of people are going hey, feel free to stream any part of our game. After that came out, it was kind of digging at them. It's well,
that's strange.
What you can do?
Gaming developers are
a weird bunch.
They're weird.
We love them.
We do love you guys, but
especially Nintendo. They're the weirdest.
I think that's more.
They're the kid in school
that's a developer decision. That sounds more like a publisher, like the suits or the. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. We don't know enough about that.
If we don't, I guess you're right. But in the end, it's you're gonna get what you want. So if you want to share the game, it's going to be shared.
Yeah. Telling people they can't was only going to make. That's what created
the internet has gone so much farther than what has been in the past. Everything's captured, everything's shared.
If they would have came out and just said, "Hey, you can do whatever you want. We really wish you wouldn't do this." What would have the impact been? You know what I mean? Maybe people would have thought more. I don't know. So enough of that jazz.
That must be a freaking amazing ending. Or when I get to that game and we get to July or November on the calendar,
maybe we'll go, oh, frick, they were right.
I'll be like, man,
I'm glad Atlus was arresting people and throwing them in jail for that's worth it.
Okay, so
send them to.
I will reserve final judgment until I see that ending, but it's gonna.
We might come back and say
our pants better be off and we better be out.
But something came out, and you know what? This is the what's it? Yin and Yang segment. Yooka-Laylee came out.
Oh.
I've got the good. It's all good with the game. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But there's something bad with something else with Yooka-Laylee. Something stinking in the fridge. You guys have that?
I mean,
you gotta throw something out.
My fridge doesn't smell that bad. It definitely lingers.
Well, there's a Yooka smelly.
Yeah.
I don't know what's. I haven't played the game.
So
you want to
go? I'll go. Okay. So I kickstarted this thing. I paid big bucks. Went to the bank and said, I got Yooka-Laylee on the brain. They said, we do too. And they helped me out.
This is your dream game.
Yeah, because I grew up with Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong Adventure, the original Donkey Kong on the Super Nintendo. 64. So when I heard the original Rare team, because Microsoft got Rare, and the first thing they went They spayed and neutered their pet. They took that thing and
Viva la Pinata
chopped its rares off.
Well, as we've discussed in previous podcasts, that's what Microsoft does.
That's what it does. So they killed.
There's a graveyard.
They killed what to me was my favorite game development company at the time growing up was Rare. Like they made quality games. When you saw that logo pop up, you know you were in for something good. So I grew up with all these like mascot platformers, Super Mario 64, Crash Bandicoot, all this stuff. That is my childhood. I grew up on that. So when I saw all these people getting together, making a new mascot platformer, oh yeah, I'm in. I saw the people, David Wise, the composer of the original Donkey Kong games, Banjo-Kazooie and stuff, he was in there. Oh, I'm in. So I just threw money at that thing, and I got the game, I got the art book, a soundtrack or whatever. I was like, I'm so excited to get that stuff. Okay, let's start with the bad. So I'm waiting on the game. Finally comes a couple days late, but you know what? Let bygones be bygones. That's not. We won't even get to that. So the game comes, and I see it in my room or whatever. Got the package, and it's just. I knew it's from them or whatever. It was like customs or whatever. It's from across the pond. It's from across the pond. That's where they made the game. That's a good accent. So I get this package, but it's this big. It's as big as like a regular game. I'm like, oh, they're sending the art book and the soundtrack separate. Okay, so that's where my thinking's at. And I open it up, and it's the game on PC or whatever. Okay, so that's Kickstarter discs are cool. Open it up, and there's 2 discs in there. There's the game and there's the soundtrack. Okay, that means the art. And I pull the manual out. And the manual is like a colorful, cool manual. Like, you don't see that nowadays, like how to play. Then I like kept flipping, and the other parts were upside down. So I flipped the manual upside down, and it was like Yooka-Laylee art book. And the art book is just the little 4x6 or whatever size that DVD. That's the art book. The art is in that thing, and it's just half of the manual.
No.
So if you're watching Yooka-Laylee, people. I'm about to get the good stuff, but I'm about to spank you right now. I didn't pay all that money for a freaking manual on the freaking book, and then the soundtrack just placed in there like a daggone like second disc to a DVD.
Like they burned it and put it in a jewel case.
Yeah, and they might as well done that. That pissed me off.
You didn't even get like the N64 box?
That was an extra tier. That was like even more money. I didn't care to get that. That was too much money, but. Goodness gracious, what a letdown. And I went to the subreddit because I was like, please, is anyone else screaming at the top of their lungs? Like, I'm typing, getting to Reddit screaming. And I only saw one person was like, anybody else disappointed in this? No one commented. I commented and was like, I am. Like, that's all I could do was but I am too.
I'm with you, bud.
So me and him are pissed. So watch out.
My gosh.
So that's a big letdown. But the game itself. Okay, that stuff, bad, whatever. But the game itself, I found, like, I got into a rhythm of playing on that. I'm loving collecting crap. Yeah. My OCD started with that game. That's what developed it, is that kind of genre
games. Perfecting things.
Yeah, trying to collect every little thing. There's so many stuff to collect. There's goofy little characters you meet. And, man, it's just a cozy game to me.
Can I ask a question about it?
Yeah.
And I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to different reviews. It got middle of the road to slightly below average reviews. That's fine. It's not necessarily about that. The one criticism I heard about the game that I was curious to hear more insight on, I don't know how far into it you are, was...
I'm pretty far. I'm about 3
I heard several reviewers say that it's a game where the first level is fantastic, and as you progress through the game, the levels get less and less polished, less and less well thought out, and once you get 5, 6, 10 hours into the game, or however long the game is, you look back on that first level and you're like, oh wow, like the front end is a lot more polished and interesting than as it goes on. It's like more and more unfinished.
I will say,
is there any truth to that?
I was curious. I've unlocked 3 levels and I'm about to like start the 4th, and I've maxed out the first level. I've got everything on that one. I do see, that first one is really good, but the music and you only have played the first one too, but the music in the other ones are great. It feels great. I will say that I would think this is kind of even an issue with the first one a little bit. Banjo-Tooie. I like Banjo-Tooie, so that was the sequel to Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie was so solid. The levels were so whatever. Good. Banjo-Tooie I like a lot as well, but I like Banjo-Kazooie a lot more because Banjo-Tooie was like, look how big we can make the levels.
Okay.
And this, here's the thing: if you liked Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, all these classic 3D platformers, you'll like this. If you're looking for the next gen of whatever, which I wasn't expecting, like super high jump, like how much more can you refine a platformer? Yeah. So,
well, I would argue you could do quite a bit with the genre.
Yeah.
Well, they did a good job.
So
they played around.
Sorry to cut you off, but it seems to me like if you're looking for a progression and evolution of the genre, this is not the game for you.
Yeah, they do some stuff.
Modern day recreation of the classic N64 formula. This is what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. I will say it refines to a point, like some of the collecting stuff a little bit. Like they're a little bit smarter on that. But all in all, like you're getting, it seems like a game someone found on the shelf from the era and said, let's just HD remake this. Okay. That's what it feels like, and that comes with the good and bad. Yeah. So you're getting the good
that explains the middle of the road score.
Exactly. Yeah. So I am loving this game. I'm having a great time with it. I saw another complaint was with the frame rate. Like there's been like some performance issues on the PC I'm playing it on. I'm doing constant 60. And then it will drop out of nowhere sometimes to like a 20 frames per second. And it like chugs for 3 seconds and then it's back to like normal or whatever. That happens sparingly. That's kind of... People are saying that they're holding that up to that being developed on Unity.
I was going to say, if it's big levels and there's other physics things going on. And there's lots of like shaders and stuff. Unity, it might be kind of pulling that to the furthest it can handle.
So I think...
Fuck buddy, Unity. Gotta love it.
So I think that's what might be happening.
Gotcha.
And then what was the other complaint? I think just like people were expecting this like freaking revolutionizing thing, and it's like I saw the Kickstarter. What I was going to at least get was that, and that's what I was kind of looking forward to. It's very cozy. I'm in a place where I'm just like I'm having fun. I feel like a kid again.
Yeah.
Good. So
I put it up.
I'm having a great time.
I'm playing on the PS4 because I originally wanted to get on the Switch. But of course, you can't develop a game, I guess, for multiple consoles.
Well, they had to cancel the Wii U version.
Yeah,
and that version is not always in the works.
Yeah,
so.
I'm glad that they're making a Switch version. I'll give you credit for that. Kind of going to be late to the game, but it is what it is. I got on the PS4, and my first experience with it, I downloaded it, and I hit play game. It starts up, and I'm like, oh, this is colorful. Yeah. This looks awesome. It reminded me of Banjo. Yeah. So I was pumped. And then I hit start game, and the load screen comes up, and it stops loading. Oh. It just sits there.
On PS4?
On PS4. And I'm like, oh. So I sit down, I always give it, there's a 2-minute rule. So I sit there.
Wow, you're patient.
So I sit there and I hit 2.
That came from No Man's Sky.
God, man. A game that I could wish I never played before. We'll have to talk about that later. So anyways, I pulled my clock, 2 minutes. 2 minutes hit and it doesn't change. So then I'm like, okay, I guess I'll have to restart the application. So I hit the PlayStation button.
Well, the levels are really big. Give it 8 minutes.
Yes. So I hit the start button on the PlayStation and it brings me up to the menu and I accidentally hit it again and it comes back down and it starts loading again. And then it freezes again.
So you had trouble getting this thing to boot.
So you know what I had to do again? I had to keep hitting the PlayStation button until the whole game loaded.
Have you done research? Is that a common occurrence?
No, I haven't. But so once the game loaded, I was good. Like that was the only time
just hit the first.
It was just to load the game, like the start of the game.
Huh.
Get to the game.
That's troubling.
I'll tell you what, the colors. I don't know if that's something you guys respect a lot. I think the biggest
I have no respect for colors.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, for me, everything will look good, but it's the type of shading, the type of colors you put into a game.
Of course.
It makes it look so much better, and for them and the art style that they put together, it is an HD remastered game, but it just looks nice.
Yeah,
looks well polished. But again, I am only on the front end of the game, so I'm really curious when I get farther in the game what it look like.
Yeah. And the complaint wasn't so much that the sound or the visuals weren't good. It was more
the gameplay.
Well, just the level design.
Yeah, it's to the T. Like I was playing stuff, and it's like I will say another complaint is like some of the like challenges and stuff. I guess maybe too is the shock of it having this HD paint, and like some of the challenges are simplistic. Like there's a ability you get where you can like hold on to things. You can like use your tongue and like move them around, and one of them's like, hey, can you move these seeds to these holes? And like it's kind of like I'm playing like Little Tykes, like toys, like of challenges, and I'm like, some of the challenges are simplistic to a point where it's like,
and some of them are pretty hard.
And some are more pretty difficult, but
like the pacing's a little
odd. I feel like this is legit a game that got took it off the shelf.
So get what you pay for.
We're great.
So I'm happy with it, but like seeing the reviews of like 70s and like people are like this is average or whatever, I totally see it.
Yeah.
So this is fanfare for you.
I was so hungry for a new one of these.
I won't ask for a review score, but it kind of sounds like it's more that you can play this.
Yeah,
but
that's and I was playing it, and that's how I've been thinking at it. Is you can play it, but it's a rad to me, or it's actually you can play it, and I just have I really love. So I would say you can play it because if there's other games that are like this, Banjo-Kazooie, you've played these before. It's there again. It's more.
So let's take it from a perspective of someone who's never played Banjo or any of those rare other older games.
It's still anyone can play it.
So do you think they enjoy it?
I think that if you grew up with that, this is specifically made for you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you're a kid, maybe like 10 or whatever.
Call of Duty is your favorite game.
Yeah, then you might
a character platform.
Yeah, you might.
You're probably not gonna.
You might want to.
Is Soap McIntosh your favorite character?
If you're a kid and if you're a younger, like you have a younger kid, and they might dig something like this. It's.
I'll even take it a step further. I think that in getting back in touch with my Nintendo side and playing some of the games we've been playing lately on the Switch, it's getting me more in touch with those colorful, just fun games where, it's not about some big, deep narrative, and it's not about these deep progression systems. Like, if you find yourself yearning for just a simple, fun, just like with whimsical music, even if you never played Banjo, maybe you could enjoy this.
And there's definitely... there's some cool parts where like you come back in the level where you go to this one part. There's something what you can do is if you get enough of these like main collectibles, the whole game is like you're trying to collect this main collectible. Mm-hmm. Like that's a big part of it. And that's like the fun thing. It's like the stars in Super Mario 64. Yeah. The main thing you collect. Once you get enough of these, they say like, and this was kind of a cool twist on the old, which was you can expand on the level. So, like, you can go through the level, and then, like, at first I was confused. I didn't know about that yet, and I was, like, going to this thing, and there was no level. I was like, did they just forget to make the rest of the game? But then it was, like, you can expand once I got a couple things that got out.
Really cool.
So you can come back, and then, like, the level's even bigger. Like,
it was crazy because, like, I kicked out. They're like, hey, you can now go unlock a new level. So I got out of the one, because I was like, I'm going to beat the game.
So it kind of rewards you going back to levels you've already kind of...
You know what? This is going to be a crazy comparison. It kind of reminded me of Demon's Souls a little bit. Because, like, you can just do the level, and then you can go back, and there's other stuff that you didn't touch or whatever.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's a very good positive.
So your dark world tendency.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the bat, like, screaming at me. And it's on the back.
That bat is witty.
I like it. And it's so funny because it is almost to the T the personality of Banjo and Kazooie. Yeah. Kazooie was this kind of
laid back, going with the flow.
Like, I don't know how you'd say, like this frisky little bird or whatever. I don't know the word
frisky?
for it. Is it frisky? I don't know.
Frisky's kind of like one of those. Okay.
Like,
I wouldn't call him frisky.
Like a bratty bird.
I would call him witty.
Witty, I guess, or like kind of snappy.
I feel like when you say the word frisky, I just think of like stuff that happens at the end of Mass Effect. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. All right, enough of this Yooka-Laylee stuff. Maybe in the DLC. Oh, that's a cool thing too. Is we're getting the Kickstarters are the DLC that's coming out for free.
Yeah, I heard it's in the manual.
Oh yeah, maybe I have it.
You have to scratch it off.
I will say also. I didn't get to say this too. There's parts when like the perspective changes to like a 2D, so you're playing like a 2D kind of platformer.
Yeah.
In 3D, so there's like cool stuff in there. Definitely a lot of fan service. Check it out, or maybe not. Next thing on the list, premium friends for the Battlefield 1.
I remember this.
They announced that they were doing premium friends.
I don't think I know about this.
I think you were the one that kind of posted about it. There you go.
Guys.
It's been a long month.
But what happened was they said they were trying to find a strategy how to solve the problem of in Battlefield 1, people that buy the premium maps and people that don't own the maps.
It splits your community. When you have DLC maps, it splits your community. How do you solve it?
How do you solve that? Well, when I heard this and saw this big, long thing, all I could say was, someone already fixed it. Or someone already solved it. We play Doom.
Yeah.
And I don't own the premium maps. Some of them do, so they'll start the lobby or whatever, and I'll jump in and be able to play with them. And I can't play on my own. Yeah. I'm relying on them or whatever. I can't start whatever. So Battlefield put out this Bill of Rights and was like, we've solved it. Here's how we're going to do it.
Battlefield.
Premium friends.
Number 1.
How does this work?
You want
premium friends.
Premium. So here's what happens. You have a person, let's say in that party, a group of 4, and they're like, hey, I bought the DLC to Battlefield 1.
Okay.
All right? It unlocks 4 maps. So now when you jump into a lobby, those other 3 players, since they're in the same lobby with that one player who bought the DLC, are now eligible to play those maps.
Yes.
Instead of being kicked from the game.
Okay, good.
So it kind of expands it, but there's another part to it, which I'm trying to remember if it was correct.
Oh, so your point is Doom already did this.
Yes.
What I'm saying is,
guys,
the Bill of Rights.
We fixed it.
Next on the list, Mad Catz filed for bankruptcy.
Bye! Finally!
Good riddance. That's all I gotta say. Next segment. No, I'm just kidding.
Their N64 controller is the worst thing ever.
Well, here's what everybody was saying was when they announced that, all people said was good riddance. They were known for making bad controller. Imagine that being your company.
They were known.
You were known for.
And they don't give a crap.
You were known for the controller that people didn't want to use, but what it was somebody would have to buy a gift for little Jimmy for Christmas, and what did they get? Oh, this controller, the official one, is $50, or they could get this one that's made out of cheese graters and gum and paper clips for $20. Oh, we're getting that one.
I'm gonna say though, I'm a little bit disappointed that they're going out of the game right now because we never got to see if they could make a better Joy-Con than Nintendo.
That's true. That's true. They were our last hope. I would have honestly liked that.
That would have been interesting.
It would have been a SpongeBob's teeth or whatever.
Have we all owned a Mad Catz controller?
Yeah.
So what was your first one?
I think it was a GameCube one I had, and it just was the ugliest piece of plastic, and it just was
I had an N64 one, I had an Xbox one, I had an Xbox 360 one. I've been through.
They made all the buttons worse. It was just everything was worse.
I had a PS2 one, and every time I pressed the button, I had to wait a second for it to pop back up, and I was like, man, this really sucks. When I have to mash the button.
Yeah.
To what extent was their deal with Harmonix part of them going under? I love your perspective.
So that really hurt them.
I don't know. Give context because
they had a deal.
They were connected.
They had a deal with Rock Band to make the instruments. They made these instruments
for
or whatever.
Rock Band 4.
Yes, and Rock Band 4
which blew the charts away. Rock Band.
Yeah,
no.
It did, I was about to say. I was like, what world are you living in? It didn't do as well as they expected, and they had so much writing on that. I guess that really kind of burnt them.
Somewhere there's a depressing factory just
full.
With,
it's the Indiana Jones
Catz drums.
Indiana Jones.
Guys,
the box.
Don't worry. Rock
Band
VR is coming out soon. And when I think I heard it got canceled. To be honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
Really?
I think so.
Once Mad Catz.
It was really.
But Mad Catz just. I had some Logitech PS2 controllers.
I remember Logitech.
I had a wireless PS2 controller. That was fine.
I'd always use a Logitech before I use a CD.
Yeah, Logitech
I had
always.
a Logitech PC controller that I played Madden on my old computer back in the day, and that thing's solid. It still works.
We had a lot. Yeah, Logitech is on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah,
Mad Catz.
They just don't really extend themselves out. They don't venture out into nearly as many. Different
and I was watching a podcast, and they were talking about there was a Mad Catz memory card. And they got it for something or whatever, and they were worried, I don't know if this, they were playing something like Final Fantasy, something really long, and they said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have this Mad Catz one and a different one I'm going to copy just to be safe. And sure enough, 2 months later, that Mad Catz erased all that stuff. But luckily, they knew.
They were smart.
They knew. They were like, Mad Catz,
Here's what I'll say in summation about Mad Catz. We all know that their stuff was subpar.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that it was not preferable if you had the option. But I can guarantee you a lot of our favorite memories that we remember and don't remember, and our favorite times playing games. 4 guys sitting there playing Halo.
Someone got a mad
kids
cast.
playing N64. One of those people was using it.
It's always like that.
And in that,
whoever lost got that controller.
Yeah, in that, if you lost, hey, you got the crap controller.
You're the Mad Catz.
But in that, thank you, Mad Catz, because
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far
in
to
your
thank
own
him.
weird way, because I didn't have money growing up. In your own weird way, you did give me the ability to play games with my younger brother and my friends growing up.
I'm surprised you said that.
I wouldn't have had the money to get full-blown controllers. So, thank you, but not so much.
Hindsight Jacob tells me that if I was patient enough, instead of going through 2 Mad Catz controller, I could have bought 1 N64 controller. But, again...
I think enough people realize that, and that's why they're out of business.
Well, yeah. I guarantee you the amount of profit they're making on each controller was large enough. That's why they stayed around for as long as they were.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they hit the PS3, Xbox 360 market, it started declining because people realized, why am I buying a crappy controller?
Well, I think, too, with the 360 and the PS3, like, the 360 was, like, a really well-designed controller. To the point where it's like, why would I ever buy a third-party thing? Whereas, like, with the PS2 and GameCube and stuff, I could see like people making weird stuff or whatever.
Yeah. The other thing about this is controllers have gotten a lot more
polished.
Not just polished, but complicated in their functionality. Like if you're Mad Catz, okay, you can make a replica PS2 controller. You can make a replica N64 controller. Okay, the DualShock 4. You're paying for a touchpad and a light bar, which is used in games,
and even in the PS3 they struggled.
So there's all like, how would they do HD Rumble? But the games need it to function.
With the PS3,
so
HD Rumble.
And like the headphone jack, it's just like the more that these companies added to their controllers,
the less profit it was to make.
Probably the harder it was for Mad Catz to realistically be able to keep up and make a functional. It can do all the same functions. It's just not feasible.
The PS3 even, I had a controller because I hated the PS3 controller, like being close together and those. Yeah. The trigger buttons, everything about the PS3 controller I hated. Yeah. They even had third-party stuff I bought that didn't have the tilt control. So if a game required tilt control, it's like, can't play that. Yeah. I would only be able to play that with the wired thing I got. But also another interesting thing is I think why they dropped out was when the last gen started, there was like a big like lawsuit and like lawyers were involved with like patents over Rumble. So when the PS3 launched, it didn't have Rumble.
I remember that.
And
they said it was a last gen. They said, "Why doesn't the 6-axis have Rumble?" I said, "That's a last gen."
Yeah, they changed their tune once they got got it settled. But like there was kind of that scare, and I think that was kind of maybe like, oh, like we might get kind of sued for this. I don't know. Maybe that was in there. But Mad Catz, good riddance.
Thank you. Hopefully,
glad you're gone. Glad you're gone. But now we're stuck with Nintendo making $80 or
an HD Rumble.
$80 HD.
Has anyone got a Pro Controller yet? By the way,
when I hit the lottery. So next was, and this is something that is, I'm not gonna have much good stuff to say. Something that we keep hearing about and we can't understand why there's such a roar about it. Xbox Scorpio news. So we talked last podcast about how there's no games on the Xbox One, how this E3 is big for them. And they come out...
ecosystem around no games.
Yes, so they came out and said, here's the specs. And usually, I'm
big reveal. It was hyped on social media. It was hyped on video. We're going to reveal the Scorpio
and I couldn't care less.
Specs.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And where's the games?
They had this big reveal of these specs, and they had this guy that knew, and he's talking about the RAM and the gigahertz and the teraflops, and he's talking about the motherboard and the processor.
Fastest
and I'm
in the
watching
world.
this thing, and I'm thinking two things. Okay, one, my PC is a mid-range PC, and it's still better than that.
Yeah.
Two, what do I play on this?
Exactly. That was I'm usually so big on hearing like, oh, how does this compare? Like when the PS4 and Xbox One was coming out, that was interesting to see. Like, okay, this is better at that and whatever. This I could give a frick about. Yeah. Like we are not seeing the games. "Whoop, do you want to buy this other thing? Look how many." They could have told me this had the power of the sun in it.
Yeah.
They could have told me that like this is the most advanced computer on Earth, and I would go, "I don't care." Like, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't have cared less because there's no games, and
the Switch is underpowered.
But there's games.
But yeah.
But like I. You know, like it has Zelda. It has
stuff you want. So like, I totally skipped over this. I did not even look fully at the numbers because I didn't give a fuck.
I scrubbed through the video and just couldn't.
Interesting enough.
You know what it reminded me of too, with them going, "Here's the numbers and here gigaflops." It reminded me of when they revealed the freaking Xbox One and they said television. It was like, oh, what about the games? I don't care about how like fast you can process stuff.
They are so
like,
into the aspect of entertainment that they're not providing the materials to be entertained.
Yeah,
they're not. E3 is reckoning day. I mean, Microsoft has to come out with some, and we don't.
Recently, it was Nintendo's reckoning day. Yeah. Now it's Microsoft's turn. Yeah. So we're gonna be there live streaming again.
Yeah. Yes.
Or not live streaming. We'll be watching the live stream.
Yeah.
I can't figure it out.
One thing though that's interesting though, and I'm actually a sucker to this. I got rid of my PS4 to get an Xbox One.
I forgot about that.
I did a terrible 4 months of my life.
Wow.
Just to play the Halo game.
Your pants were back on.
Yeah, you just wanted to play Halo.
I just wanted to play Halo. And then as soon as I got out with Halo, I was like, why would I want to play Madden on this? Yeah. Like, so you know what I did? I kicked it to the street. So guess what my little brother did? Convinced my dad to buy an Xbox One S. And I called him. I was like, why would you make Dad buy you a One S when I could build you a PC that's way better? And he's like, I just want to play Halo, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so sad.
But how much longer can they ride that wave? Like, how much longer is Halo a selling point? Because, like, I don't feel like that's big of a series. Like, Halo 5 did not sell.
Halo Wars hit Steam. Guys, it's going to happen. We just got to sit it out. Just don't buy Xboxes. Sit it out long enough.
Hey, he's going the first.
PC.
I just hope that they build some new IPs and build themselves back up. Because they keep neutering, like, Rare. They keep cutting off.
Their third-party support can only carry them so far. It's over. You don't see people and say, I got an Xbox and only true gamers play an Xbox. Your third-party games don't sell your consoles.
Yeah.
All right, it's just how it is.
We're going to need some good first-party.
Here's the thing. Microsoft isn't drowning them. They aren't selling consoles. They're just existing. That's what maybe frustrates me the most. Yeah. If they were just dying, I wouldn't be frustrated because I'd be like, well, they're dying. If they were excelling, I would be excited. They are just existing. They're like the guy that has all the skills in the world and is just coasting and doing nothing. And it's like, you have Fable, you have all of these ideas.
He was me my last year.
Banjo-Kazooie. You have all of these different. They have so many properties.
You can achieve so much.
They have bought so many companies.
So much wasted potential.
So much talent, wasted potential.
Microsoft, you are the sun that we're having the talk with.
Yeah.
Get your grades up, or we're kicking you out. We're not paying for your car anymore.
Take your company that is just exists to make Gears of War games and ask them, what would you actually like to make? Yeah. Take your company that's just pumping out Halo games and say, what would you actually like to make? Because that's what Sony does. They partner with companies.
Yeah, they listen.
Like Naughty Dog made 3 Uncharted games, and you know what they said? They didn't say, make us another one right away. They said, what do you want to make? And they said, we want to make something. It's called The Last of Us, blah, blah, blah.
And boom.
I want to know what the company that made Gears of War 4, surely there's got to be something else they wish they could
I think Microsoft has probably watched, too, like, even Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah. Like, those people were making Killzone the most safe thing, you know what I mean, at the time, safe kind of games. Yeah. And it's like, they made this game with this girl... this prehistoric time with robots. What the heck? You know what I mean? What a gamble.
It's the best game that
paid off. So hopefully they will listen, but we'll see.
I just don't think it's kind of weird because they're not dying like Sega. It's a weird thing.
They're not. They really aren't dying, and that's where because at the end of the day,
they're just playing it safe.
I was talking to a guy just the other day, and he is excited for the Scorpio. He's a very casual gamer, like just plays Madden. Yeah. And will mess around with a shooter, but he's excited for it. Yeah. So they're gonna continue to sell. The Scorpio is not gonna be dead in the water. No, people will buy it. People bought the Xbox One S, knowing the Scorpio is coming. But it's just enough for them to keep the Xbox division alive. Yeah. But it's not enough to actually make a difference or do anything interesting. Yeah. So it's like I want them to do something or go full on the PC. but just stop with this middle of just existing.
And trying to combine the two worlds.
As someone that grew up as a fan of Xbox, loved my Xbox 360, I wouldn't touch a PlayStation console until 2012 because that's how much I loved Xbox. It's just so weird. They're like a zombie. They just kind of like don't know who they are. Just do something. Yeah. Do something. So
all right. So next, you know what? I don't even have a what's it called? Iwata's Final Troll. Yeah. Well, you know what?
It's a good time to be a Nintendo fan right now.
Actually, this is Iwata's Final Troll.
Oh my okay.
We're back. I had to rethink my, why did I say that? So I've been waiting on Amiibos. We've been waiting on Amiibos. I don't know why I didn't initially think this was a troll because this is probably like long game Iwata troll. This one was like he conned me over several years. So I started collecting Amiibos because I'm an idiot. And I started collecting the Smash Brothers Amiibos because the thing that appealed to me with the Amiibos, they looked cool. They were only like $10, little things or whatever. But the thing that got me the most was I played all the Smash games, and in the Smash games, you would collect trophies, and they would be in a pile. They would start growing up this big old pile of Smash trophies. You could have a real life, all these like cool Smash trophies. And I was like, and they actually do stuff. You can actually play games with them.
Train them.
You can use them in different games. Heck yeah, like they're multiple use. They're not just a thing that sits on your shelf.
They actually have
they have use. So. Oh, cool. So I started collecting these things. Going to Target's site, hitting refresh, I was the freaking idiot consumer. Right there, they had me. I was the sheep.
Specifically for Smash Brothers.
Yes, for the other stuff, beginning. I got the Splatoon ones because they had like ability stuff.
But you've made sure that you own every Smash Brothers one.
And
you do own every Smash Brothers one.
Okay. And then they announced at this most recent Direct. Okay, we were waiting because the belief was that they were going to show Smash for Switch.
Yep.
And that was when they were going to go, boom, okay, guess what? Here's the Cloud. We were waiting on Cloud, Corrin, and Bayonetta. The 3 DLC characters and stuff. So it's like, okay, I got
Clown Amiibo.
I opened up my spot. I cleared up a spot on my little shelf. They actually took over multiple shelves. There's so many of these freaking Amiibos. I regret a lot of my life, honestly.
Yoshi Woolly World.
How much are these a pop?
10.
They're like 12, 10, 12, whatever.
That's just little enough that you're like, yeah, I'll buy one.
Yeah, and then
but it's just enough that will add up and stab.
Yeah.
Dude,
you don't understand. Yeah. I spent.
How many of them are there that you own?
50.
There's a lot.
Oh,
There's a lot.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. I will say my income was a little bit different at that time than it is now. I could flick $12 here and there. But so I've been waiting a long time because they kind of just paused at getting these three. I was like, okay, Switch is gonna come out. Switch release came. No Smash Brothers. Where the heck are these Amiibos? So finally at the Direct, guess what? Here is the Cloud, the Bayonetta and Corrin Amiibo. I was like, awesome, yeah, finally. And then they were like, also with alternate poses. And I went, oh no. I just saw a 3 years of I saw Iwata just finally sitting there proud, just readjusting his tie, we got him. Because the alternates are actually really cool. They are Cloud, the main Cloud or whatever, is him in his purple Final Fantasy VII classic thing.
Okay,
and the alternate style is him in the Advent Children, and then the alternate Bayonetta is the Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2's costume. But then I started thinking oh frick, they're gonna go back, and I'm not doing this because I have already. You'll see what my strategy was when I saw these three. I was like, they're gonna go back and add the alternate to all the other. I was like, that is what they're probably gonna do. But
so
I was caught because
this is Iwata's Final Troll that you see on the horizon.
Well, yeah.
Because I would say.
Well, no, because I really kind of at least want these ones, but I know I don't know. Definitely for these, but it sucks.
It
sucks because I was expecting to pay for 3 more, and it's like 6. I might pay for 5. I won't get Corinne's alternate, but like I would really like the other ones. I don't know, but so I had the page open for on my Google Chrome, like a tab open to like the list of them on Best Buy or whatever the pre-order. And I was sitting there for 3 days. Like, should I buy these for $12 a pop? And I was sitting there, and I had to decide. I finally looked at that, and I was like, my strategy was, I guess I just don't have these. I was like, I guess I just don't have these things. So I got to the finish line and was like, or you know how in Forrest Gump just kept running and then he just turned around. I was like, why are you going back? It's like, I'm done. Yeah. So that was me. I'm Forrest Gump with the beard.
Amiibos.
But except the beard, I have amiibos growing out of my like skin. I'm done.
I went on a binge with you.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad that you put the needle down. You got out of there. Because I'm going to tell you, if you're upset about these alternate poses, Amiibos will never end.
Yeah.
They will
Well, my goal was to get... My goal was
if you're addicted to Amiibos, let us know about your collection.
My goal is to get a
your
complete set. So I at least want to get the standard poses of these 3. I do still want them, but it'll be something I... Like Christmas or birthday... Wink, wink.
So they're no longer a priority. I get it.
Or maybe I should wink at them. P.O. Box.
Hey, that's a good thing to say. Hey, send it over. Just put them in your wish list.
Yeah.
Do these sell? When these sell out, do they restock them?
They'll restock them eventually.
The Amiibo shortage of 2016 is no longer.
I remember being a thing where you guys were like in the group chat, just like.
But we were following a page.
There
was a page made dedicated to telling us when Amiibos restocked. When Ness hit the shelves.
It's pretty crazy.
I turned everything off at work. I pushed my phone to the side, and I just kept hitting that button for refreshing until I got through and bought it.
Yeah, it was a waste of time.
This hobby brings the best out.
I bought like 25 of the Smash Amiibos, and then I looked at my bank account one day. I was like, man, I really could have had $300 something.
From the outside looking in, this is I'm not a big figure guy. I don't know. It just doesn't. I think they're cool. I love looking at other people's figures, and when I look at them, I'm like, I'm glad you own that because I can look at it. But
it's come back to help me with like Zelda and stuff.
It's just
been a while.
Figures have never. I'd rather have like a poster or something. Figures have never really done it for me. So I'm glad that I don't have that weakness.
Yeah. Everyone has their niche.
Yeah.
Now I will say there's some people that collect all the Amiibos.
And keep them in boxes.
So not outside of Smash Brothers. I confined myself from the beginning. I was only doing that. So when I saw they started making alternate, it was just like, you're trying to...
You're weakness is more like buying games that I know I'm never going to play because I want to play them.
Yeah.
Just like... Because I think you're better about that. You tend to just buy things. You don't have a big backlog on Steam or anything. So we all have our weaknesses.
Mine was plastic, goofy figures.
Mine's title belts, so...
Yeah.
It's all good. I have 2 more coming in the mail.
Oh, no way!
I got the U.S. title. It's gonna be sick.
Wrestling.
I love.
That's
WWE.
why.
I love WWE. By the way.
That's why the pants came down. You didn't have a title belt on.
That's funny.
And then they also showed Splatoon 2 and ARMS. We'll talk probably more when they come out. They're coming out so soon.
The Global Test Fire was really fun, by the way. I don't know if any of you guys got to play that as well.
Only thing I want to say about those 2 games is ARMS is looking really good.
Yeah.
And
that comes out June.
Yeah.
So that's so soon that we'll talk about that very soon.
Just the more that they show
it's looking good.
The combinations of things, I think it looks great.
They announced Star Wars Battlefront 2. And I want to talk about that because I had some, and many other people outside looking in, they made this $60 game, and then they immediately then they were immediately like in the cover and stuff like and then when you start the game, buy this $50 DLC, get the season pass. And it just felt like it seemed fun. Like what I had played and stuff, what I had checked out, it looked fun. It just didn't seem they were shoving the season pass down your throat, and people didn't like that. This one, I feel like they actually did listen because I was like hearing all the news, and it actually sounded like there's a full story thing they're doing. They have like
loadouts.
They have all, which was surprising to me, all the like
prequel era,
original
era,
and the new. Yeah, it's all era. So it sounds like they really listened, and I just want to say, I know you're watching right now. Sally Star Wars.
DICE, and they've got Criterion.
Star Wars.
From my perspective, me and you both bought the original Battlefront. Like you said, I didn't buy the season pass, and so the game, my ability to enjoy it really dried up after a few months. Once they had the DLC maps, especially on the PC, the matchmaking just got really weak. It was really hard to find games and stuff. That and the game. Here's the other problems with Battlefront. You know, there was to a certain extent a lack of maps. There was really no meaningful single player content, so they're addressing that. So they're adding in the story, but they're also adding in like side missions that center around different characters throughout the universe. So that's cool. It's not even just the one story mode. There'll be a conquest mode. It sounds like the biggest thing to me that they're bringing back that I'm really excited about, and I wanted to make sure we touched on this because if you don't know about this, you should know about it.
This is huge.
The original Battlefront games, Battlefront 1 and 2 from 2004 and 5 on the PS2 and the Xbox.
PSP.
The thing about those games was when you got on and played, there were different types of soldiers. So you'd have like your sniper, you'd have your rocket guy, you'd have your regular infantryman, you'd have a pilot, you'd have an officer. And what this did was it allowed you to just pick what you wanted to be and run into the battlefield and play that role. What they did in the new Battlefront was everyone was the same infantry person, and they give you all these different things for loadouts, and you could like pick different blasters,
pick a gun,
and different star cards, and everything. And what it did was it made the game super tedious because you were always in lobbies trying to get the right balance of things. They didn't give you enough slots to actually use more than 2 things, and you always have to carry a jetpack. So you would get into a match, and then you realize, oh, I didn't bring the ion cannon, so I can't do anything in this match because we're trying to. So it locked you out of actually being able to adjust on the fly. What they've announced for the new Battlefront is they're going back to having those individual kinds of units. That is huge. The other thing
I'm actually interested in this one this time.
The other thing they hinted on was that I didn't like was the flying controls in Battlefront were really wonky. It felt like you were driving like the GTA 4 cars.
It was almost
in
like
the sky. It was just
they weren't going to have that in there, and then they quickly put it together.
Yeah, the flying did not feel good. And what they said was they brought on Criterion, which I don't know what else they've made, but
they made the Burnout games and stuff.
Okay, they brought on Criterion. That's good. They brought on Criterion, and Criterion they said worked on all of the feel of the vehicles and the flying. So. Looks like they're doing a lot of things right. I'm not a 100% day one buy or anything, but
especially after that, after that first one, people might be burnt.
Again, it's Star Wars, and I think most people can agree when you slap Star Wars on something, it sells. I'm probably gonna be a day one buy.
It looks like they listened to your point.
Yeah. So that's cool.
And again, it's EA.
So next thing I want to talk about, you said you were gonna play it. So sorry if I spoil. I'm not gonna go too spoilery.
Prey, you're good.
Okay, so I checked out Prey demo. I streamed that live, and I might put something up on the YouTube because like I played that when I was really tired, and I feel like it's not that good of a stream. I was like yawning at the end of it. I don't know, maybe that was the game itself too.
So scary.
So it's actually, I don't know, maybe I'll put like a highlight thing on there because what I didn't realize, I knew that this game had some maybe spooky moments. I played BioShock or whatever. I was kind of expecting a little bit of that, but this game starts out and it kind of like, you start to see like, oh, this is what this is about. Oh, this is what this is about. This is what this game is like, the concept of it and stuff. But all I wanted to do is turn into a cup. Because in the gameplay trailer when they revealed, he like warped into this cup and moved, like rolled the cup and got into like this like little kiosk area through the window, like where you pay or whatever, and was able to get through that. That's all I wanted to do. And then there was like some gun that shot glue or whatever. I got to that part in the demo. Here's the issue that I was having with the demo. 2 things. First thing, it was having me collect all these key cards. That was like what it kept having me do. Like you see me in the stream, like, okay, I can't get here. Gotta go over here.
Gotta get a key card.
Oh, and I have the right key card. Okay, I gotta look around for that. And like, I've played the BioShock series and I really liked them. And I feel like this is very heavily BioShock. You were talking. It seemed like you were kind of looking forward to more like systems and doing all that stuff. And I think it has a spark of that. And I think it has like touches of that, but I think it's more closer to like modern BioShock and stuff like that.
That's kind of my fear for this game because
that stuff is kind of.
If you guys don't know the background of this, the design philosophy, immersive sims, games that have all these different systems that are in play, physics and elemental things, and you find creative ways to do things. System Shock 2 was a game that had heavy RPG elements. It was a PC first person. I hesitate to call it a shooter. You shot, but you're exploring a space station. System Shock 2, like, they lost the rights to that, but these guys left and made another company, Kevin Levine, and they made the BioShock games, which are spiritual successors to System Shock, that very much took the System Shock formula and consoleized it.
Yeah.
So what Prey, the whole idea was, we're taking Arcane, the guys that make Dishonored, and we're going to go back to System Shock 2. Number one, when I heard that this demo was not coming out for PC, but only for PS4, I immediately realized, this is much more of a console version than it is a true callback to System Shock.
It's got elements.
You're telling me, it sounds a lot more like an even more consoleized version of BioShock than a true callback.
It's got one thing that was interesting is like it has that system like in Resident Evil 4 has it and stuff like where like your inventory you can only hold so many things. So
I like that.
So there's that, which is neat, which I haven't seen in a little while.
Because you got to make interesting.
Or I mean, they had that in Resident Evil 7, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Resident Evil games have done that, but like outside of that,
different items take up different amounts of space.
Yeah. So they have that. But I was like collecting key cards, and like this is one of those games where like BioShock. I was playing. I think too. I was kind of tired when I was playing this, so I just want to get that out of the way.
Negative impact.
So that kind of maybe negative impact to me because this is the game where you have to like scavenge around for stuff. So I was shooting this glue gun, which is kind of cool. These enemies would come up, which are these like little spider things that like jump onto people's faces and suck their skin off their face or whatever. And it's just a skeleton left on the face or whatever.
Right on.
It's pretty scary. It's pretty fricked up. But you get this gun, this glue gun, basically, and you're shooting these, like, it looks like popcorn. If they turn into, like, popcorn, basically. Or, like, insulation on a house. It, like, shoots this stuff, and it, like, covers the enemy, so they're, like, kind of frozen or whatever. So you shoot this, and I could not find any more of the stuff. And I didn't have that drive like I did in BioShock to, like, kind of dig around into trash cans. Like, is it in here? Nothing's in here. What about this trash can? Nothing in here.
That's kind of like...
Oh, what's in this trash can? Oh, I can use that. So, like, I don't know. That wasn't really for me, what I was feeling. But here's the second thing, which confirms I will not be playing this game. I won't be reviewing it. The enemies of the game, these, like, black spider things, move around and glitch around the environment or whatever. Because the game, right out the gate on the demo, like, what is reality? And like you're like in the simulation type thing or whatever that's involved in it. So these like black spider things are jumping around whatever, and you find out this guy that's helping you, his name is January. I crap you not.
January.
And like he calls you and you're like, hey, you got to get out of here. You got to get out of the simulation. Get out. Okay. So you go through and he quickly tells you, watch what you grab and pick up. Because you can grab and pick up things. Because it might be, they call them mimics, is these little things. Might be a mimic. Anything in the game can be that enemy.
Oh.
So I'm playing tired, and I will not play a scary game with headphones until I was stumbled into it yesterday, so because when I was streaming I had to put my headphones on.
These key cards.
So I'm trying to find these key cards and I'm trying to grab stuff, or I go up to desk and you hear blah, 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 like this attack music goes up and I'm like, frick, where are they? Like, where are they at in the room? And then like I went up to grab this post-it note because like I wonder what that post-it note says, and I grabbed it and it turned into a freaking mimic or whatever. Sorry, Mick. What's a Mick? And I was so I was like going into rooms with my headphones on like this. Like, and I was like, I know they're gonna freaking jump out.
Oh, man.
And like, you'll go into a room, and then like, sometimes the music's like really cool. The music's awesome in this. It's very good.
The score. It
awesome. Great. But then it like stops, and you go into a room, and it's like, and I'm just hitting sprint and just hitting the button. Like, it is because anything can attack. Like, you can go up to a coffee cup and like try and pick it up or like whatever, and then when you get near it, like bursts into a mimic or whatever. So it is.
So it's not for you.
No, but that's one thing. It's bad to me, but I think others, some people that might really like that. Like anything can attack you.
It sounds to me like the game is maybe different than what I thought it was.
Yeah,
but I'm still interested. I don't know. It was never a day one for me, but it was something that's very much on my radar.
It's by the people who made Dishonored, which I loved the first Dishonored. I didn't feel like playing really the second one. I felt like I got enough of the first one.
Yeah.
And I will say some of the there's an intro to this that they do that I was kind of laughing about on the stream. I felt bad, but I was like, in BioShock, there is such a memorable, like, when you get to Rapture, when you actually see that, and they take you through this, like, you're in this, like, bathysphere or whatever, and you're seeing the whole environment. It's incredible. It was so, like, it stuck with me. This game tries to do that, like, it puts you, like, on this, like, helicopter when you're getting to, like, where you're going at or whatever, and it's playing the crappiest music I've ever heard. Like, of a game that has really cool music, it plays this, like, da-da-da-da music, and you're, like, looking at the town, and the graphics aren't good. Like, you see mountains in the distance, and it looks like a PS3 game.
Like a triangle?
It doesn't look good, and
That's weird.
I was like, this is like a crappier, like, budget version of BioShock's thing.
Well,
so,
I mean, it's a demo, so I mean,
stuff will change, and I will say the combat, you get like a wrench, and I'm fighting these mimic things.
With a wrench?
And I'm hitting this.
That sounds like System Shock.
I'm hitting these like mimic things, and it feels absolutely god awful terrible. It does not feel good. I don't know if I was playing it wrong.
It does sound like System Shock.
But like with the glue thing, you glue them and then hit them, and that was better. But with some of these were like jumping up on me.
So that's how you defeat them. You glue them down and then you hit them.
Yeah, you can do that.
That's cool.
Okay,
that's a cool combo.
So, but
that sounds like Systems.
But if you run out of glue,
and
I'm only fighting that thing, it felt so like
clunky.
Not good. Yeah, clunky, and it felt absolutely terrible. So
you're intriguing me here.
So that's funny.
Cool.
But so I quit the game.
Cut me out.
I ended up being so sleepy and yawning so much. I was like, I had to find another freaking key card. And I walked around and I was like, all right, guys, I'm going to power through this. I'm going to get through it. And I could not find where to go. It even had markers. I actually, when I started the game, I turned off, it gave me an option. You can turn off all tutorials and all that stuff. And I did that at first. And I turned it back on the more sleepy I got. But it even had a point on the map. It was like, it's up there. And I was like, I can't get there. I just can't get there. So I quit, and I was like, so that's why I was like, I didn't feel like putting the stream
What's
up.
the schedule date for this?
It's coming out very soon.
It's spring. I think it's sometime in May.
Yeah, so very soon. So pray. What do you think?
Pray.
Let us
Pray.
know,
Pray it's good.
Yeah. Last thing before we go into like our games played is the Night Trap remaster.
Oh.
So they announced there's a game called Night Trap that came out for Sega CD, and it's a genre of these FMV games. It's these games where it plays live action, and you basically get to choose how the story progresses. Another game I like that's like that is Wirehead. You're seeing the funniest stuff. Get a group of your friends together and play these old Sega CD games. I promise you'll have a great time.
Plumbers don't wear ties.
Plumbers don't wear ties. You can play the whole thing on YouTube. What a weird platform, but you can play it on there.
I wouldn't recommend it.
It's such a fun group time to play these games. Well, they announced a company that takes these indie titles, these digital games that are just for digital download, and they're called limited run games, and they make a limited run of physical version of these games, and they're really cool.
The ones putting out like physical versions of like Fez. I've seen a
Hyper Light Drifter is one, and like really some of them are like really cool collector stuff, and they actually make a legit soundtrack. It's not shoved into the thing. Yooka-Laylee. You should contact Limited Run.
Oh my gosh!
Man, you sound like you're really bitter.
But. So they announced that for Night Trap, and the cover looks just like the cover did for Sega CD. It's that same thing. I hope I get into this limited run. It's gonna be a limited run
for PS4.
For PS4, they I guess it's upscaled, like the actual like the footage they use.
It's full screen.
Is it gonna be full screen? I think it's going. Oh, definitely. I think it'll be real fun to like play like.
I just feel like when you bring up the term Sega CD. All I remember is this clunky add-on to the side that had the second power adapter.
Yeah.
You plugged in?
You plugged it onto the Sega Master System. You can plug it on there.
Bang!
It was a mess. I had that. It was a whole mess.
And then it's like they promised all these 64-bit processor and all this bull crap, and then guess what happened? I'm playing movies.
I'm going to tell you right now, they were in a similar place with CDs at that time to where we are with VR. They didn't know how to use it.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. They were adding it on to things that already existed. And there was potential there. There were a couple nuggets of really good things, but there was just a lot of, we don't know how to use it.
I think my favorite part about it was they announced that with a 64-bit processor, and they added to the 16-bit Genesis. And then a couple months later, here's the 32X.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did you go 64?
They had a big problem of adding add-on stuff, but
that thing's a monster.
So I'm definitely excited for this. I think that would be a fun thing if we don't do a stream for that or something or whatever.
I mean, I'm always down.
For Wirehead would be fun too. Anything like that, those games are
Plumbers
so
ties,
funny. They're so funny,
yeah.
and so I'm really excited for that. And I think they did a great job on it.
Yeah,
like the cover and all that stuff. So
I'm looking forward to that.
Finally, what did we play this month? I already talked about Yooka-Laylee. I played a little indie title came out recently called Super Hot.
Super Hot.
So that was it was a game where I'm gonna show some footage or a screenshot or whatever. You could only move when you move. That's when the enemies move, basically. Mm-hmm. And it's so cool. It's basically a puzzle FPS.
It's nice.
It is like a cool genre combination thing. I never played anything like it. I liked the graphics a lot. The concept was cool. They went and spent some more time with it. I think it was kickstarted.
Yeah.
And my only complaint with it, thought it was awesome. They added a story mode to which every 2 seconds, like, hey, that's you over there. What is the Super Hot? And I didn't think that was needed, and it kept like every single level. It was like
me and you felt similar. I kind of like the little story that they have.
I know you didn't.
I like more subtlety to the point where it was a
little forward.
To the point where it's like I just wanted to get back to that fun gameplay, and it kept like popping up glitch stuff, and it was like, what even is this game? Think about it.
That game's a cool throwback to because I played it at the end of last year. It's a cool throwback to you can beat it real fast, but there's so many reasons to go back and try the different challenges.
Yeah, and there's neat stuff on the menus they added. Like even it has like its own folder system. I was like playing games in the menu.
Yeah,
like there's a little Easter egg, so that was cool. But
I'd give that game a rad.
Yeah, I would say it's a rad.
I'm excited because I'm glad you brought that up because I was recently thinking there's a VR version.
Yeah,
that's a game that
and I want you guys to check it out because I'm actually what I'm doing is
I thought it was an Oculus exclusive.
You can Viveport, bro.
Oh, that's right.
Viveport.
Viveport allows you to port Oculus games onto the Vive.
Okay.
And allow it to run.
Cool.
And it runs flawlessly. I want you guys to play it. I think you'd love it.
But I really liked it. The Witcher. So he had played The Witcher and told me about it, and I'd seen it since like The Witcher.
The first Witcher.
Yeah, I played the first
3,
Witcher,
the original Witcher.
And you had talked about it, but like I saw it since The Witcher 1 came out, and I've always seen footage, and nothing ever appealed to me. So I sat down and played this, and it is. I told him the equivalent of you go over, you're ready to jump into the pool. It's summertime. You jump in, and it is cold. You want to get out. That's what playing this game was, especially coming from Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
To playing this old, freaking, dated when it came out game, which is The Witcher. It is just so clunky in some ways. It's kind of like, it takes some getting used to with like running and you know what I mean. But it has those kind of old designs, and I really, really freaking enjoyed it. But like the pool, I had to sit in that cold water, and by the end of it, it's like, pool feels great. Jump in. You know what I mean? So you had to
telling other people to jump in.
Yeah. So like I was cold at first. I was like, I don't know, I want to keep up with this, but I'm glad I did, and I'm looking forward to Witcher 2 and 3 when I get to those. But I had a good time with this.
Now, a game like that, this is where I like to talk about, rating a game, because on your scale, I feel like that's you can play it.
Yeah.
Because
definitely
it's not superbly designed and all these different things, but the things that it does have.
It functions, and it has such charming characters, and like choices that you make end up doing interesting things later on. It had a charming the team made this little charming time in their time of development. So it was their first game. Yeah. He sent me some article, and it had like a desk with the Witcher poster on it, like at the convention. Yeah. That's all they had.
Their E3 was like one little computer and one guy sitting, and you could just play the game.
So
and talk to you about
it's interesting in that aspect because you get to see people like that kind of like development made games like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Whereas like they were hurting for money, they didn't really, you know what I mean? They didn't have a lot to go with. Like that kind of stuff gets, I feel like the best. You know what I mean? You get the most interesting content because it's coming from a place of total desperation sometimes. It's coming from here is everything I want to do. So check it out. There's interesting characters, very, very funny dialogue and funny moments. I think it is you can play it. If you want to go to Witcher 2 and 3, you can, but I think you'll get more out of the series as a whole if you play it.
So do you recommend playing Witcher 1 first before you play it?
I do.
What
I'll say is, this game, if you demand polish, if you want a super polished game where everything feels great, if you say, I do not have any interest in playing a game that's, archaic in any way, then it might not be for you. But it's $1 when it's sold on Steam sale. Yeah. I think it's even worth $1 just to upload.
Because you can play it for a couple hours and see if you like it or not. Yeah. I paid $1.50 for it.
Yeah,
worth $1 that you're jumping into cold water, but you're going to have so much fun. Yeah.
So that was all I played this month, and then Yooka-Laylee. Only those 3. Cool. That's all I got through.
For me, played a lot of, like I said, I hit Yooka-Laylee up, but it's been Mass Effect. I love Breath of the Wild, but secretly my heart was always focused on what was coming soon with Mass Effect.
Yeah, it was.
I'm about to hit 30 hours. I'm starting to hit a point in the game where it's like, I've never been a perfectionist until I played Mass Effect. Because I'm
completionist.
I call it perfectionist because you adamantly care.
You're a bit of a perfectionist.
I was doing the shrines in Zelda, and he's like, "You're such a perfectionist." I was like, "No, I'm just playing the game."
that drives me nuts. See, here's my thing. I love playing a game and then getting through the story.
Yeah.
So Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 slapped me in the hand for doing that because spoilers, like close your ears now. If you screw up, people. Wait, you haven't played, have you?
No, you're good. No, I've played Mass Effect 1 and most of 2. You're good. So people die.
Okay.
People die if you make the wrong choices.
Mass Effect 2, if you make the wrong choices.
Characters can die.
So I was so defeated at the end of 2 because I was like, I need you for 3.
Yeah.
No! And so this game, I'm doing it all. I'm like, no one's dying on my watch.
No one's dying.
And I want to make sure I can have sex with anyone I choose. So it's one of those things too. Spoilers. But it's been weird.
Let me ask you this, because you said something earlier that piqued my interest, and I wanted you to maybe expand on it a little bit. We're hanging out just a little bit, talking before the podcast, and I said, so you've been playing Mass Effect, that's cool. I said, what are you doing? And you were like, there's just so much work to do. And you were,
so it sounds like chores.
And I was like, so much work. He's like, just trying to build these plans. There's just so much to do. And I was like, this is the game about doing work. Like, is that what it is?
The premise of it is really cool. I'm going to be doing a review on it when I finally beat it. Okay. You're the son of a Pathfinder for the human race, and a Pathfinder's job is to go out and make planets viable.
You're employed to do.
Which I love that as a concept for a game.
Yes.
The sci-fi part of me totally digs that.
Pathfinder dies on a mission, and you inherit Pathfinder. So now you're like...
This is where the beginning
yeah. And so then it's like, oh crap, I have a job to do. And they're like, here's the galaxy. Yeah. Go Pathfinder.
This is a great premise for a game.
Yeah.
So
it's fantastic.
I think what's going maybe is the execution, so I'm curious.
So I've done I've Pathfinded one planet completely. And man, what a chore that was. So then I moved on to another planet, and I'm at like 1% away from being able to put an outpost there, but I've done everything. Yeah. It turns out you can misdo quests. If you don't do them properly and have the right outcome, you don't get the viability points for you to outpost there. And so I looked it up. So now I'm like, oh no, this planet.
So you have to replay the game.
I might not be able to live on this planet now
because of just one little thing you might have done.
Yeah.
See, that sounds like Final Fantasy X too, where if you didn't get 100%. So I had a guide and everything because I wanted the ending. YouTube really wasn't there. It wasn't out. It was not developed yet. And that game had you doing everything specific, and if you missed one thing, you didn't get the secret ending, the actual ending of Final Fantasy X. So I was so anal about getting everything specific. Ended up missing one thing. I was like, what did I miss? Oh, dang it. On that chapter, what did I miss? Oh, yeah, there's a guy behind the crates. You can't see him, like, on the screen. You have to go back there and press X, and you need to talk to him. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I won't play this game. Yeah. I finally went back years later. Now that YouTube's out, I'll just watch that on YouTube. Yeah. That's how I played it. But, so what else other than Mass Effect?
It is what it is. So, I think I still have a shot, and I'm praying to God I do, to live on that planet, because I really like the planet. I want to live there. That's the sad part. There's some planets I don't want to work on you, but I want to work on this planet. Yeah. That's kind of cool. It's a neat concept. But I'll tell you right now, and this is the most frustrating in the world, the person who I've been making advances on, the person I've been flirting with,
Love update.
Okay.
Love update.
She's not responding to me.
Uh-oh.
And so I'm kind of upset.
Man, I'm sorry.
You played a lot of game.
You got stuck in. It sounds like you're stuck in the work zone.
I'm thinking it's because I'm not working on her mission right now. But here's the scary part. I've had a lot of.
It sounds like life.
Hey, it is. It is. But here's the scary part. I worked on this one planet.
It sounds like life with worse
I'm
animations.
talking with this girl. I'm completing her side quests.
We'll get to main quest later. But there's this one planet that I did all that work on. And I'm still not able to live on it. I had to work with this guy who was he's kind of like an outlaw, and he's made a lot of advances towards me. And it's kind of like...
So it might be a possible thing.
It's weird because it's like, the game's kind of pushing you towards like...
Interesting.
Hey.
So he's making advances on you?
Yeah, but I'm saying things that like, yeah, man, good job. And he's like, yeah, I know. And it's like, oh.
And you're like, no, I just meant to say you good job.
And it's like, and every single dialogue option.
I think your true self is going to come out and play Mass Effect.
Yeah, I think it is.
That, and I can make love with a Krogan at some point, but I don't want to do that. So
yeah, the alien relations part of it was always interesting to me. But, okay.
Again, so I'm still trying for. I want to stay in the human line. But I'm kind of worried. I might have
Your grandchildren might be half Krogan.
I might be a Krogan, might be an Ansari. So I'll give you an update next month if the human race is endangered.
Well, I hope you enjoy all that hard work.
A lot of pathfinding.
All right.
A lot of pathfinding.
You been playing anything else? You play some Yooka-Laylee, but you kind of
no, it's been Mass Effect train for a little bit.
All right.
Mass Effect.
Well, I played a few games. First off, Ace Combat 4. I mentioned on the last podcast I was going to get into these games. I bought 4 and 5 for the PS2. Hooked up my PS2, started playing it. Man, fun game. What I like about it is it's this very Japanese game, which I didn't expect. I thought these Ace Combat games would be almost like Tom Clancy games. They're not. You get in and it's like interesting, like anime style, like still frame, like really nice narrated, cinematic scenes and talking about, my family died and all this stuff. And it's very interesting, and it's framed in a way where like you're hearing this kid's story for Ace Combat 4, and then you're going and flying in these missions. And when it starts, like you're hearing this kid's story, but you're doing these missions. You're like, where is this going to intersect? And the way that it intersects, and this kid's perspective, and then the work you're doing is really interesting. It's not the most like phenomenal, groundbreaking story, but it's just really interesting. And I liked it a lot. It was very tasteful. The actual flying itself is very tactical. It's fun.
Better than Battlefronts?
Yeah, better than Battlefronts. And it rides a nice line between being too arcadey and being a complete simulator. So I like flying games. And it's just now a genre I'm starting to get into. So Ace Combat 4, I'd give it rad, even at its old age. Came out in 2001, something like that. Definitely, if you I think that if you're interested in that kind of stuff, you got a PS2 lying around, pick it up, go to a used game store, find it. It's a pretty cool game.
Cool.
Second, Zelda, which, I completed that this week. We're going to do a review on that very soon.
Very soon.
You'll hear my full thoughts on that, but cool. Third, I started playing the demo for Puyo Puyo Tetris, which is a game that I was having trouble wrapping my brain around because at the Direct they were talking about it, and it was my first time seeing it, and I was like, oh, it's just Tetris, okay? Yeah. Was not at all something that interested me. Then we started talking about it, and I mentioned that in a group chat, and you said that people at your work played it and swore by it.
Yeah, that's all.
And I didn't realize Puyo Puyo is actually a really old puzzle game in and of itself. Tetris obviously is Tetris. So when I heard that they were really into it, and I started doing some reading on like sites and NeoGAF, and people were, this game's coming out, it's getting like 9s out of 10s. People are like, this is a must-buy for the Switch. At $30, this game is a steal. I'm like, what's going on with this puzzle game? Yeah. Why is it so? So I downloaded the demo, and me and my girlfriend played it, and it's charming. It's really cool. I've never played Puyo Puyo before, but it's similar to Tetris in like its setup, but it plays by different rules.
Different execution.
Yeah, and basically it's the perfect couch co-op game. It's the perfect couch battle game. It's perfect solo game. And what you do is you play Tetris, and then it switches to Puyo Puyo, and then switches back and forth. So it's kind of using this different part of your brain that is trying to balance two different rule sets at once. And both of them are games that there are beginner concepts, there are advanced concepts, and there are expert concepts. And the game does a good job of kind of explaining them to you. where I'm realizing there are some really deep gameplay strategies in your battles. So, like, you're trying to clear out rows, and the person you're battling against is trying to clear out rows. And when you clear a row, it sends items into their box that they can't clear out. Like, they have to... Yeah. So it's like this waste management system you're sending back and forth. And in the demo, you can't really do it, but there seems like there's a story mode and a very long adventure where you're doing all these different worlds and different bosses. So I'm obviously not going to review it. I just played a demo, but I'm thinking about picking that one up. You know, if you're a Switch guy, you got a Switch, and you like puzzle games, definitely check it out. But so I played the demo of that, interested in that. Last game I want to talk about is a game that I'm just now kind of dipping my toes into. Not ready to give full impressions, but I've never played a MOBA, like League of Legends, Dota 2, Heroes of the Storm. But I finally decided that I wanted to kind of jump in and get my feet wet a little bit with one, and that's Heroes of the Storm. The reason I picked that is because it's the most accessible of the MOBAs that are available, and they're doing like a promotion right now, which I thought was cool, and they're giving away a lot of characters. So I booted this game up, and I've started playing, and I'm just playing against the AI. I played like several matches just against the AI, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I was kind of worried that, because a lot of MOBAs, you're like balancing all these currencies and items, and you're leveling your character up. Cool thing about Heroes of the Storm is that your whole team just shares a level. So as you're playing, like, it all goes into one joint experience pod, and you level up together, which is nice because it just streamlines it. So I don't know. I'm just now getting into the MOBA thing. I don't think it's gonna be this major thing that I'm gonna love, but I'm actually liking Heroes of the Storm. I think it's cool.
I would love to play League with you guys.
Yeah, well, League's a whole nother thing.
Well, I'm just saying, like, in general.
We got some friends that are interested in playing Heroes of the Storm, so I'm gonna play some of that and give some impressions on that in the future. Those are the games I'm playing right now, though, and yeah.
Cool. Well, next you'll see us will be
we're reviewing
Zelda.
I cannot believe.
By this point, everybody will go, what? What's Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
We moved on to Puyo Puyo.
Puyo Puyo.
Yeah.
No, I think
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
We're gonna give we're gonna give a really in-depth look at the whole.
I think what I'm looking forward to is like kind of the stories about, because we're each going to have different ways we kind of stumble. I was talking with Kenny and some of the ways he stumbled upon stuff with.
It's gonna be nice because there's things I know that you guys don't know, and there's things you know that I never thought about knowing. I
think we're all going to be a little bit surprised on some stuff. So look forward to that.
Yeah.
That's our next thing, and then after May's podcast, there will be a big month, and then it's June. So we are going to be covering the Sony, the Microsoft, and Nintendo. Nintendo won't be doing a live thing, but they'll be doing a direct. They didn't say yet, but it'll be a direct. No live thing, but
Nintendo always has to be different.
And Bethesda and EA and all that stuff. So we'll definitely be covering the big three.
Yeah.
You know, people last year were like, "Why didn't you come Microsoft?" Well,
funny story.
We were in a car. Yeah.
We had two phones going.
Yeah.
And I had like one phone propped up in like a sunglasses holder.
We were coming back from vacation.
What was the other thing we were watching?
Apples. So we had Apples thing.
Yeah, we all love Apple,
but we're actually gonna be home this time. We won't be in a car miles from home. So we'll actually be doing Microsoft's this year. So actually, I think we're all gonna bring like firearms.
Yeah.
And point them at whoever's computer that is.
Guys.
And like wait to see how Microsoft performs.
So definitely expect videos from us for the three major streams.
Big stuff in June.
Potentially the other companies, depending on if we feel like we want to do for this. And I think we'll also probably do like a non-keynote impressions from like the other games that are shown.
Yeah.
Well, I think what we should do for that maybe. Yeah, we might do it right after, or we might wait till the podcast. We'll see how we feel.
I mean, what do you guys think?
Do an EA. Yeah. If you want an E3 specific show that's just where we cover the things we learned, in addition to the podcast.
Say I want my Oval team. If you want that now.
Or say I want an E3 video.
Okay.
What do you want?
You know, two sides of the coin.
In the end, it's what you
point
guys
counterpoint.
Want.
Yeah, and then also I did one of these, and then freaking life. You know what they say, life happens. I did one Tony Hawk long play, so I played it from beginning to end. I played it from beginning to the credits, and I had a blast doing that.
Skater 1.
The first one, and it was so awesome, so fun. I'm actually playing this on the PS3 through its emulation of the PS1 games. Mm-hmm. So next is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, and I was going to do this on a weekly basis on every Sunday. Life life will take you.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, it took away my Tony Hawk. It took away Hawk himself from me.
Hey,
but
he'll be back.
I will be back very soon on that.
Live stream
not tomorrow. Not when is this going to go up? I don't know. Soon on a Sunday, you might hear a call. But I have a Twitch. It's called DweeBros 7. I think it's DweeBros 777 on there. I wasn't able to get Dweebo.
That's all right.
So I'm just the lucky. I'm the jackpot Dweebo, but that's on there. And then you've been playing Limbo. On
I forgot to tell you. I've been playing Limbo this month.
Werewolf.
I'm almost at the end. But that you can check that out. We'll see the put a link there. I've enjoyed that. It's been a nice.
I've enjoyed watching you go through it.
A nice roll of surprises and challenges. So feel free to check that one out too.
Yep. And there might be the Prey highlights. It'll just be me being scared. I screamed at the thing. Half time with one eye open.
We need to get together and play Outlast.
I ain't playing Outlast. All right. Well,
man, new iPhones?
New iPhone. All right, next week, new iPhone.
Microsoft.
Donate to my Patreon to get the new iPhone
8.
Yeah. We'll send you an art book.
Yeah, we'll send you an art book of our podcast.
Yes, we will get a new art book. It will be in a Happy Meal style toy.
That's funny. Maybe.
All right. Arrivederci.